This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and remember, cool kids don't skip the intro. Today we're going to be trying to defeat Agent of Treachery and Lukka by taking those greedy cards and introducing them to some really nasty, cheap, efficient counter spells and hand hate. Yep, Esper Control is going to try to be the good guy of the format. Could that actually be true? When I was on my Twitch channel doing my Monday meta show, I went through and had people vote in chat, yay or nay, to various decks. We had 15 decks. And one of the decks that got the yay was this brand of Esper Control, which blew my mind. This time last year, Esper was the scourge of the world. People said Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, needed to be banned. Now, it's like anything that doesn't have Agent is automatically the hero. The Agent of Treachery must die. So that's what we're trying to do today. We're going to see if Esper Control can go toe-to-toe with a deck full of 4-mana enchantments, 5-mana planeswalkers, and 7-mana creatures by playing cheap, efficient answers to them that either strip them from the hand, like Agonizing Remorse, or counter them, like Mystical Dispute, and eventually win the long game with either Giant Shark Typhoons, or Kaya Orzhov Usurper -5, dealing damage equal to the number of cards in exile. This deck has a ton of exile. It's got 4 Agonizing Remorse, it's got 3 Extinction Event, which is really good since a lot of the aggro decks are playing Obosh. Extinction Event wiping out pretty much all their stuff by naming Odd is rather glorious. Elspeth Conquers Death exiles, of course, and Kaya herself exiles cards from the graveyard and is very good against Cat Oven. So that's what the idea of the deck is. We're going to try to hose Agent without completely losing to Lurrus. I am concerned that I'm playing too much removal. So Heartless Act, Doomblade, Oath of Kaya, Extinction Event, not necessarily good against Lukka, and I don't have a ton of ways to draw to get around them. So I might end up turning these, or at least some amount of these cards, into even more counterspells. A few cards I have my eye on are Essence Scatter, right? Not Capture. Essence Scatter is 1 blue and another to counter target creature spell, and Tail's End, which counters a triggered ability or a legendary. So there's some really fun stuff those cards can do, and maybe we'll see those in the future. For those of you who want to try to play Esper Control in a slightly less aggressive format where the sideboard comes into play, aka best of 3, I've thrown in a sideboard, so you guys can check this out, hit them with Thought Distortion, or hit them with Cry of the Canarium. Depends on whether they're Lurrus or Yorion. One or the other, right? We also have a bunch of Dovin's Vetoes to up the counterspell count, and Grafdigger's Cage to up the graveyard hate. And along with some fun ones, you know. A Kaya, a Liliana, a Negate. So anyway, that is going to be the introduction to the deck. Let's go out there and see what kind of damage we can do. But before we dive completely into the video, I want to thank my sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com. The promo code CGB5 gets you a discount on any order from CoolStuffInc.com over $10. So they're pre-ordering right now. If you want to order some Ikoria product, get your paper magic on, or just get a board game for the kids to play, or just get some sweet supplies, remember to use the promo code CGB5. It helps out the channel. I don't get a kickback, but they're more likely to renew a sponsorship in the future, and their sponsorship is worth a lot to me, to making sure I'm on the air every single day. So thank you to Cool Stuff Inc., and remember the promo code CGB5. Now let's dive in. Thank you, cool kids. CGB Cool Kids Club, for sticking with the intro. You in the camera, you're cool. And no, I'm not going to do this every video from now on, but I do need you to know you are really freaking cool. All right, let's go. All right, away we go. This hand has good mana and all the things we want to do against our Yorion opponent. Let's open on the Temple. I don't think there's anything I'll have to counter on turn 2. Probably don't need this Oath of Kaya here. Probably playing a draw-go flashy game So with 2 mana, I could play an Omen of the Sea, so let's pay 2 life, get on the board. Send those messages with our shock lands, and that's fine. Let the opponent get their Omen on. Yorion piles come in so many shapes and sizes. We don't really know what we're ever up against, but I do know that's not resolving. And that's why we have all these disputes in our deck. Neutralize also on deck here. Omen to possibly find us some goodies. Oh, looks like they want to say go. Maybe. All right. Here's my Omen of the Sea. The opponent not willing to play into it. Now we have our own Narset and our own Elspeth Conquers Death, which I'm sure is going to be a card that matters in the matchup. So these are both keepers. Let's go get a swamp to play the castle. Alright. Still doing it. We can also just save it until we absolutely need it. As drawing more land is fine. Thinning the deck not too important. So, the opponent debating Omen of the Sea, double bottom, keep on top. At some point, the first starts to fly. Cameo Collector of Tales. Well, on its own, it can get back a Narset here. If I play Elspeth Conquers Death and exile it, then I have an Elspeth Conquers Death online. If the opponent plays Yorion and draws a bunch of cards, then I guess that's fine. But we don't do anything else with our turn, and we end up tapped out. Let's just counter this. And then on our turn, we'll play Narset. I wish we had a Mystical Dispute in that moment. Good draw. Let's go fetch a swamp and then play an untapped castle. Lock the way, not give away all of our evil plans. But this way we hold up a Castle Vantress activation if the opponent doesn't try to resolve anything. They did take a turn off a few turns ago. Now, I could have gotten another island to try to play Narset in this. Oh, they're just going for the Yorion for value. Counter. Extinction Event. Alright. Let's get our own Narset on the field now.
If you wish to surrender now, keep an open
Oath of
mind.
Kaya. No targets for this right now. The opponent might get to do some really gross things to us, but I think we might as well make this play. Put a little pressure on them to make our Yorion really good. If they have a big play, hopefully Elspeth Conquers Death helps us recover. There's fires. You get one more spell, make it a good one. They do have 7 mana. They could play an agent. They play Fae of Wishes. What are they fetching? Thought Distortion. I mean, that's a card. So this is target opponent reveals their hand, exile all non-creature, non-land from the hand and the graveyard. So how do we play this? We know that we want to play the Elspeth Conquers Death. We do this, we exile this. We don't tick this, this Narset, because if the opponent's going to play Thought Distortion on us, wait, they don't have black mana. Do you think that means they have another fires? I still say we don't play this then. I still say we don't tick this, just in case they're going to exile our hand. We can just leave it on 3. Ooh, I see. Okay.
Contain your rage.
Interesting that they would wait to do that. But then they scoop it up. Good mana. Not a lot more you can ask for when playing Esper. And we've got a counter spell on 3, so hopefully our opponent doesn't get to run us over. They don't have a companion. It's usually Wilderness Reclamation, mono red, mono red. This is mono red doing mono red, mono red. Another land is not quite what we're looking for right now. We've got enough. We're up to 5. Don't be a Steamkin. Robber. Robber's obnoxious, but Oath of Kaya will still hit it next turn. Oh, you. You. Alright. Now what? I think we play this and play the Omen. I could also shock in a land, but I want to avoid that as long as possible. Good old mono red. I had forgotten all about how our wars would go. Alright, let's try to scry a land to the top. Take away their sweet robber value. Yeah, we don't want to give them an Oath of Kaya, not even a little. I would love this Plains, but alas. Alright. I would love the Plains just because it wouldn't shock me. And it looks like now is Runaway Steamkin time. So Torbrand and Embercleave seem like almost sure things because they didn't have 1-drops. So we've got to keep them off those things by removing all the creatures we see. Oath of Kaya is a pretty good way to do it. Also, Yorion Oath of Kaya is a pretty fun thing. We're getting close. We're getting close. Now Annex is hardened in the Forge. And there's a Scorch Spitter. We could try to counter the Embercleave. It looks like we're going to get cleaved. If we hold up counter magic, they can't really do it. And if they... Let's see. So the way this works, if they go for the Embercleave, we can neutralize it. If they don't go for the Embercleave, we can take the damage and make a Shark Typhoon critter. Let's grab another black. We already have double blue. And let's pass the turn. And then next turn we Yorion. We can Oath of Kaya away the Annex. Oath of Kaya the Omen. Now if they hit a counterspell here, it's with the Robber, it's just brutal. But okay, another Extinction Event. Love it. Alright, the opponent won't move on the Embercleave. Will they move on anything else? No. Alright. Make a 2/2 Shark. Elspeth Conquers Death. Okay, well we could play that and get rid of the Annex and be tapped out that way, but then we're at 7 facing an Embercleave, and I think that's bad. So let's do the Yorion. It means they pretty much have to have their Embercleave turn now, and we've got a lot of toughness on the battlefield to face it. We get our life total back up to 10 as well. Fire Prophecy. Ooh. Alright, they're going to remove this. Going to derail us. And a shock. Okay, they're down to 1 card. I still do think it's a cleave, but what if it's not? Those are not it. Both are too slow. I guess Torbrand would be lethal. Oh, that's what they have? Brutal. Not my day. Oh, rough. All tap lands. But we have a mystical dispute. Our opponent, no companion. We'll see what happens. Huh. Interesting. They're scrying? I'm scrying. But at least they play blue cards. Okay. Sure. We'll just dispute everything, I think. Everything they do is disputable. But now we're looking for land. That ain't it. Wrong. No. So, Dimir Flash. Stuck on 2. Stuck on 2 mana. It's gonna get rough. We'll save the Agonizing Remorse until we want to resolve something for sure. Omen of the Sea. We're looking to dig up some more lands ourselves. I mean, how brutal can you be? But let's hit our land drops. Unbelievable. 4 mystical disputes before we saw 4 lands. And they say the shufflers, you know, fine. Some of you do. Sailor. Sure. All right, destroy. Fire away at the sailor on the end step here. There's a quench. I have another Heartless Act, but I could also just counter this quench. Yeah. Get their only creature off the board. We drew a freaking land. How about that? Let's go in for the Agonizing Remorse. 2 quenches, Brazen Borrower, Octopus. Let's take out the Octopus. Just take a threat, take the card advantage. All right, so Omen. The opponent wants to quench the Omen. I mean, yeah, I'll pay for that. What else you got? Now we have some land. I think I just want to keep all of it. Getting ahead on lands is good. Let's go get a white source. Eventually we can start using our castle. Could have gone for Yori in there, but I don't see a need to. I think we can wait. Being patient's fine. Alright. Plains. Yay. Shark Typhoon. That is an uncounterable threat. That will be a fun one to play on end step. The opponent does have Brazen Borrower, which is frustrating. But we can counter that with Mystical Dispute. Alright, so cycle Shark Typhoon, make a 3/3, leave up 1 mana for a Mystical Dispute on the Brazen Borrower. The opponent might have their own Mystical Dispute, but if they make all that exchange, then we play Yorion. Okay, they did it. They got the shark. Here's Big Bird. Reload with 2 Omen of the Seas. That will be nice. We don't have a counter open, but we have Heartless Act open. There's not much they can do to us, and they see the writing on the wall. That's too much value. Well, this can get a Black Source. We have a Scryland. Seems like a lot can work. It might be a little awkward. Again, no companion. So we start up a card. We just need to make sure we live. Do we go get a black mana so that we have turn 2 options of Omen of the Sea, Agonizing Remorse, and Heartless Act? I think we do. I think that's better than the Scryland. What do you guys think? Simic Flash? I think they're going to Growth Spiral. Don't think I have any idea what they're going to do after they Growth Spiral, though. Drawing a Mystical Dispute sure would have been nice. Let's get in the hand. Let's get some information about what we're fighting here. If they're going to Growth Spiral into something great, let's take the something great. Scry to the top. So they have something nice on top, and they are indeed Simic Flash. Oh boy. So right away, we've got to make a choice. If the opponent taps out for Nightpack Ambusher, that's easily answered by Heartless Act. Brazen Borrower's pretty well answered too. The Mystical Dispute doesn't hit much in our hand right now, which is good. So let's take the Nissa Who Shakes the World. The biggest, strongest card. Ooh, hello Teferi. Well, here's a temple. And another land, yeah, that's another white source for Elspeth Conquers Death, which could be very helpful. Teferi versus Mystical Dispute isn't going to end well for anybody. Let's go ahead and turn on the full control to make sure that we don't miss this window. Bye-bye, Wolf. So we killed 2 of the biggest threats that the deck can produce. Now we just have to not die to all the other things it can do. Paradise Druid? Not too afraid of that. So having 4 mana here doesn't really do anything. So we may as well play this tapped land, I think. The opponent might counter our Omen of the Sea on their turn. I would welcome that. Here's Brazen 1, of course. And the attacks begin. Alright, Omen of the Sea. Now the opponent's going to try to defend their attackers with their counter spells and just ride that to victory, so we need interaction of various types. So, our own counter spell takes 6 mana. I don't think that's good enough, but it might be. No, we don't need the counterspell. We just need to play 2 relevant spells in the same turn, and we need to get to 6 mana. So I actually, well, I'm just going to bottom the land. I think I'll find another one anyway. And this turn is probably throwing something into the counterspell. And I think what we throw into the counterspell is Elspeth Conquers Death. Opponent might play their Mystical Dispute on it. The next turn we double spell with Oath of Kaya and Teferi and make them have the answers. Wow, just snap that off. They top decked a Frilled Mystic. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Down to 6. And did they draw another counter? No, they drew another Paradise Druid. Wow. They're just brutal. All right. If we play the Oath of Kaya, there's a chance the opponent will Mystical Dispute it. If we play Teferi, they have to Mystical Dispute it, and that's our whole turn. Or we could let Teferi go and then resolve Oath of Kaya and then play Yorion next turn, which I think is better. Yeah. Okay. So they dispute. Resolve, decline. Oath of Kaya. Take out the Mystic. We go up to 9. If the opponent doesn't draw a counterspell here, we have Yorion and Heartless Act. Unbelievable.
Seek shelter in stewardship. Behold nature's true power.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Ow. Ugh. I am struggling today. This has been the worst day of Magic I can remember. But we will battle on. You guys don't want to hear that. You want to hear how great and wonderful Magic it can be. Alright. Let's go ahead and put this on the bottom. I don't know if this is any good here, right? Like, this is for Cat Oven matchups. This isn't one. Obviously, they have a Mori. So yeah, we'll put you away. We'll keep the land. Yep. We'll make sure we hit those land drops. Let's try it up. It's the second white source, so we'll keep it. Try it up again. Could use a counter spell here, something. Our opponent looks like they might be on the Teamer Mutate pile. And yep, starting out with a Polywog Symbiote. Gotta send that away. But we've only drawn land off the top so far.
That's more like it.
Another Teferi. That can keep the opponent slowed down a little bit. And a Grazer. Do they have the land as well? Okay. It's on. Alright, that is a good card.
I'll protect you.
We can hit their hand. So let's play out the swamp. Let them draw. Take something good from them. So they have 2 Great Horns and a Symbiote. Oh my goodness. This is a nightmare. Alright, I guess I take a Great Horn. Was hoping to catch one of, like, their Auspicious Starix or something here. Ooh, now they don't get the loots. So the way that they played that... Yeah, they could have kept a land in their hand and looted it away for something, but they just played it out a bit quick. They do go to Great Horn on top, which means Elspeth Conquers Death will work.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Yeah, we have to go get another white source here. The Oath of Kaya is a good one because we can use that to break up the symbiotes. Or kill the symbiotes, I mean. But let's do Elspeth Conquers Death this turn. The opponent plays Umori, we can play our companion and exile their Umori, or we can play Teferi, bounce their Umori, and an Oath of Kaya to kill a symbiote. The collector is here. Is there anything else going on for their turn? We know that their deck is 100% creatures. We don't have a lot to worry about there. I'm guessing they're sitting on a land, but we'll see. We have coming back a Teferi. In that case, do I care about the Amori enough that I want to bounce Elspeth Conquers Death to use on the Amori?
You show remorse, I'll show restraint.
Let's just set it back. Then Elspeth Conquers back. Elspeth Conquers Death gets me another Teferi next turn to bounce it again. Just keep it slow. Just keep it slow. We did draw Shark Typhoon. We could slam it. Start cranking out the sharks. That creates an Oath of Kaya drain, and we're getting one back anyway. So probably not a great attack.
We will meet again.
Extinction Event. Ooh. Yep. They've had enough. We faced some bad juju for a while today. Maybe we're starting to turn it around. That mutate battle went pretty well in our favor, and now we're on the play with Heartless Act, Narset, and Elspeth Conquers Death. Let's do it. It's all turning around. I can feel it. I think we'll find another land, and since our colors are good, I guess at some point we might need to choose between other black and other white, but I think we can wait. Bolt the bird. Always bolt the bird. Don't know what's going on with the goose, but the goose is cooked. Mutate again, possibly? When I see Castle Garenbrig and this much blue mana? Alright, let's Mystical Dispute something. Rather than spiking an Narset. Slow down. Just slow your roll. Oath of Kaya. Oh, they didn't attack. If they had attacked, that would have been perfect.
The past, present, and a thoughtfulness before action.
I suppose I take the Teferi. I've already got Elspeth Conquers Death for days. You can keep the Fabled Passage as a Fabled Passage to represent a Mystical Dispute. Would you like to attack the... No? Okay. Draw. Wow. Guess people have seen enough of Esper. I suppose I need a white source, but we're close? Alright. Find white source, be good. We can always cycle Shark Typhoon on turn 2 to dig even deeper for it. The opponent will take a mulligan. They're looking at Yorion. I don't know if Kaya's very good here. I haven't played against a Cat Oven deck yet today, which I think is the reason that Kaya's in the deck. I think the deck in general is heavily slanted towards Lurrus. Nobody's playing it. Not today. Not a single Lurrus, not a single Jeskai cycling. Bad matchups? Maybe. Do I cycle Shark Typhoon to try to hit white? We'll make that decision if we want to run out a Teferi here. Alright. Well, they have Discovery. Let's get more information. Maybe they'll surveil some things to the graveyard. Are they an Esper deck? Like, what Yorion deck plays Discovery? Red mana? Okay. I'm really not sure quite what I'm dealing with. Let's do the cycle, though. Still no white source. To Narset or not to Narset? The opponent might play a Teferi. But I guess I would welcome that. I can always cycle the Neutralize. If I don't play it now, I probably never get to play it. Because I just end up sitting in a staring contest that I'm not sure I want to do. Let's grab the Omen. Okay, that went as well as it could.
I have just the trick for this.
Remorse seems really good. I do think this matchup will be about Elspeth Conquers Death. But I'm not sure when. With only one white source, I think it's Remorse. But I don't think I play the Remorse yet. Ooh, do I send away another one? Let's get this into our hand. And trust that we'll find the source of mana for it. Right, Fires of Invention, shut that down. Play the Agonizing Remorse first, get an idea what the opponent's doing. So we see the Lukka, yep, Good old Lukka deck. 5 colors this time, it appears. 2 Elspeth Conquers Deaths. Man, is that going to be a headache. So the Lukka turns into an agent with the castle that the opponent already has, and I have no interaction for, so I think it has to be the Lukka. But that means that the Elspeth Conquers Death fight is going to get crazy. So be it. So do I play another Teferi? I suppose we could play the Kaya. That gives the opponent a target. Definitely play something. We need to basically have more targets than the Elspeth Conqueror's Deaths can deal with, so we get traction every turn. And I think it's Kaya because Teferi can come down and bounce our Elspeth Conqueror's Death if it survives a turn. So we'll see what happens here. Did the opponent find the land? They found their own Narset. So we still need a white source for this. What are we going to do about Narset? The opponent with a choice to make. We could get our Yorion on the battlefield, which could attack the Narset. It can blink our Narset to reset it. I feel like it should be trying to do better. The opponent picks up a Teferi. Big turn. I do think we might just want this Yorion resetting our Narset and making the opponent top deck a land. If they Teferi bounce our Yorion, obviously we're fine with that. We don't want to reset the Kaya. Alright. This isn't the best use of the card, so I'm very nervous that we're going to get outvalued in the long game now. But I think we just have to try to take advantage of our opponent while they're stumbling.
I know 88 ways to defeat you. Pick one. Keep an open mind.
Shark Typhoon. They found the land. They play the Conqueror's Death. They target the Yorion. Yep. Alright. And we still don't find that white source. With a Kaya, that can get rid of the Narset.
Such violence is upsetting.
Keep getting those things exiled. All right. So we still have a land to play. I think we main phase our Omen of the Sea, because if we find a tapped white source, we can get it onto the field. We find another Omen of the Sea and a Mystical Dispute. Let's take the Dispute. We don't have the mana to cast it, but it can make the opponent pay more for a Teferi if that's what they go for. No, it won't work because Elspeth Conqueror's Death is about to go off. So this is the lost cause. Let's take this. Keep digging. There's a white source and a Teferi. Is that what we want? I think a Teferi is a pretty good thing to fight with in this matchup. The opponent doesn't have a black source for the Oaths of Kaya. There's 2 sitting in hand. They have their own Yorion, which can blink an Elspeth Conqueror's Death. How do we get through this? Our opponent has 18 life and 5 cards in exile. We're a long way from a Kaya draining them out. Ooh, they said go? So their plan is a shark? Plan is a shark. The Teferi's not good against that. Heartless Act is, if we can find it. They might also make a token with the castle.
Meditate and prepare.
Neutralize, Mystical Dispute, Agonizing Remorse. Well, Agonizing Remorse can grab the Typhoon. Let's start with Teferi. And then play the Remorse for 4. Crap. That doesn't work. But I can do it on their turn, right? But now I won't get the shark. Ah, I thought I had one more mana than I did. It's a mistake.
I got this.
Let's keep plussing. Submit 0. There it is. I hit cancel.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
This can exile the shark token, but the shark token gets to attack one of our creatures. Okay, so they discard the Typhoon. This won't get that back. Remorse you. Probably Elspeth Conquers Death, but they have 3 cards we haven't seen. Oh, man. The Agent of Treachery we can try to counter. The Lukka is an Agent of Treachery this turn, so it has to be the Lukka. My god.
This isn't worth my
This deck is so infuriating. It's just endless Agent of Treachery tribal. Alright, who do you attack? Teferi. Okay.
time for plan B.
Elspeth Conquers Death, target Kaya. You want to keep the shark. Okay, they want to keep the shark. We need a counter spell for that agent.
This might be a bad
So
idea.
only 2 white sources. We can't play Teferi and then then return it to our hand. So I guess we're going to scry this turn. It does feel like we should get this down. Is it a land? The untapped mana for the Agent of Treachery. And does the opponent have the guts to go for it when I might have a counter spell? Yep. Teferi down is okay.
I suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
They are fiddling around. What are they going for? We know they have 2 blanks without black mana. They have 1 card that they need another land to play. We're going to be sacrificing an Omen of the Sea now that our Yorion is gone. Oh, okay. Fun. They hit what they needed. Must be nice. But get back the Elspeth Conquers Death, and I'll play a Teferi, bounce it, and use it against you. If you take my Elspeth Conquers Death, we're good. Okay. Cool. I do need another white source for that play. How about my Shark Typhoon? Does that do anything here? Not particularly. I think we dig for the other white source, because we need that agent gone.
Right on schedule. I've got it.
Hit it. My turn to top deck the right land. Get that agent out of here. The shark is doing work. The shark is definitely doing work. Picking on our planeswalkers.
That didn't go according to plan.
The exile pile is up to 8 for the opponent. Kaya might be getting into range of being useful. The opponent has their own Teferi.
I can no longer stand by and
Nothing here worth bouncing, though. And they shock. Oh, they want to make a 1/1. Okay.
Those who cannot
Trying to be very sure that we'll hit here. I'll go, I guess I don't know what I might hit. I might want the untapped land.
I have just
Shark Typhoon, for example. Another Elspeth Conquers Death seems really good. We could also use an Oath of Kaya to pick off the shark. I think we just want to exile here. Trying to pull away.
Only time will tell.
I guess we can pitch this. Yeah. I think a Scry 2 is better than a Scry 1. The problem is the opponent could top deck Agent or Lukka to get an Agent at any time. At any freaking time.
I won't forget our time together.
Here come the taps. Typhoon. Ooh, vroom, vroom. That's a good draw. That is a very good draw. It might just be able to end the game. Let's grab a Teferi. It keeps the opponent from being able to interact with our Typhoon if it lives.
The fight you can win.
No more shark.
This might be a bad idea.
Okay, the shark is plenty big enough. But can it be 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It can be 10. It can't be 11. So if the opponent plays an Oath of Kaya, then they're going to live anyway. So we may as well play the tap land. Heartless Act. Yeah, the Yorion might be about to come down. Let's keep it. So I could play the Typhoon and eat one of these, but I want to instead wait.
Now what?
I want to set it up for lethal and not put it in a place where the opponent can remove it at sorcery speed. Do we go for it? I think we do. We could wait another turn and have a Teferi so that they couldn't interact with it. But I don't think... I think we just make it the play. And that's game. Sure. Who needs white mana? We proved we didn't need it last time for Iori and Miar. We'll just counter remorse everything and get white mana on turn 4. I guess. Although it looks like we have to get a tap land out of the way anyway next turn. To have neutralize up for 3. Yeah, that's something that we can do if the opponent doesn't walk into neutralize. Let's just play a little draw go against what's probably a tap out Yorion deck. Never ending abyss of what Crokeyz has done to this particular format. Bing. Bang, boom, out. Away with you. This will get the white source. But we don't have to show the opponent that yet. Elspeth the Sun's Nemesis. Well, you can make a pair of 1/1s, and then I can Oath of Kaya them. And I guess I can do that and Agonizing Remorse in case you have Lukka. It does feel like I might just want to counter this, though. Yeah, let's just not let the opponent get traction. Who knows, we might find another counterspell. Extinction Event. So let's play Omen of the Sea, and let's find out if we find another counterspell. If we do, we'll hold up that. If not, we'll Agonizing Remorse. Teferi and Shark Typhoon. Both are pretty good cards. Neither are a counterspell. Neither are Elspeth Conquers Death either, which is one of the key cards. I think we'll say goodbye to you. Actually, I don't think either one are particularly great. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. And look at the reward. Look at the reward. Yep, just keep shutting it down. Shut it all down. Melitus, alright. We're probably going to have a token next turn. We got to set this up. Oh, we know they're going to have a token. We got to strip their hand of the goodies. Alright. No Fires of Invention for you. No Omen of the Sea for you. And hopefully no good top decks either. So, cycle and draw. What else have you got? They're trying to get to where they can bring back Elspeth, but that takes 4 cards and 6 mana. So they need one more card in their graveyard to do it. This is going to be that card. I guess I don't have an easy solution. And we just want to play our Yorion and try to find answers now. We've got our opponent slowed down a little. We don't have the finest Yorions on the block when it comes to this deck. Neutralize, I'll take it. So, did the opponent find a Lukka? Elspeth coming. It's really good. That's really, really good. Oh, man. Alright, off the top, we whiff. We're not going to find our own Elspeth Conquers Death this way. Ugh. Why'd they have to draw that card? Kaya would be a... Well, Kaya wouldn't be great. The opponent's debating, like, do you bring back Elspeth Sun's Nemesis here? If they exile the Teferi and the Narset, I'm pretty happy, right? Yeah, I'm pretty darn happy. Okay, they just cast Agent of Treachery, which they can get back next turn. They're just going to steal a land. Maybe I let them steal a land. Nice draw. Nice frickin' draw. All right. Well, so I think the play was to sacrifice my Omen first, because if I had seen this, I think I would do it differently. Regardless, I think we keep these cards. Because, or no, I couldn't sack and neutralize because it's freaking 5 mana because of Elspeth Conquers Death, because that card's fine and balanced. All right. Target the Teferi. Let's play an Omen. We have to kill the agent. If we don't kill the agent, then the Yorion will blink it. So we've got to do this. And I know I can't cast the Elspeth Conquers Death because the opponent stole my land, but we have to play like that's eventually going to fix itself. Like we're eventually going to get that land. The opponent bringing back Elspeth is annoying, but Mass Extinction Event and Oath of Kaya can probably clean it up.
I'll protect you.
Opponent takes a card draw with Teferi. Okay. It does open up Oath of Kaya to remove it, and then if we top deck any untapped land, neutralize is an option again. But we might end up too far behind. Alright, they left the agent. What else did they leave? Just the agent. And here come the tokens. Are you still not done? Like infinite turns in here. The Shark Typhoon might be good. If we pass, then the opponent knows. But let's do it. I guess the opponent can pump the tokens, which is frustrating. So maybe an Oath of Kaya killing the Sun's Nemesis is a good play. And then we can cycle the neutralize. Extinction Event eventually takes out the tokens anyway, but a smart opponent will pump these tokens, not make more. I think we cycle the Shark Typhoon, though. Well, wait. Yorion's about to come down and reset these Planeswalkers. That's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, let's dial back the pressure. Smart opponent will just get me dead for that. Let's cycle the neutralize since we're leaving the Teferi. Ugh, not a land. We really needed a land. At least we're closer to a land. Now the opponent's trying to scry into Lukka. And they keep one on top. Yeah. Show me a Lukka trying to steal my planes, and I think I'm done here.
I've got it.
That'll do. And we are back. And I need some frozen peas to put on this bruise on my butt from getting it kicked so hard. This was not a particularly fun outing. It was quite the smackdown for my beloved Esper, and I do think that there are some things that are serious issues. I think that the Lukka agent deck is absolutely dragging the format in one direction, where we need all these answers to expensive permanents, and I think that the aggro decks in Best of One, as usual, are pushing the other way. The problem is, I really don't know what I'm going to face, and today was kind of an evidence of that. Our draws were never very good against one or the other. They were kind of down the middle. And our mana, the mana is so clunky in this deck. It's almost a reason to get me off Esper by itself. It's amazing how much the 80 card decks benefit from the triomes, because without one, poor Esper here just always felt like it had the wrong mana in the wrong spot. So maybe there's some better things that we can do. I would, if you want to really hard target the Lukka decks, I would consider getting into Tail's End and getting some of those in the deck. I would consider getting in the Essence Scatters, maybe one or two, something like that, and just going a lot harder on the counter spells, relying on Oath of Kaya and something like Extinction Event, or possibly even Shatter the Sky, to hold off the mono-red menace that is out there. Maybe something like this. So if you take out spot removal and really rely on sweepers, maybe you're a little bit better off. However, there's still 4 more cards to cut. I'm not convinced that Kaya is it, but we didn't run into Lurrus at all. And Lurrus is one of the main reasons that we're leaning on Kaya. Lurrus has been everywhere. Maybe Lurrus is taking a break now. And maybe with all the exile cards that we have, from Agonizing Remorse to Extinction Event, we don't have to be as dependent as I think we do on exiling cards from the graveyard. Narset is still pretty good, but it does require us to tap out to play it. So I think trimming a Narset makes a lot of sense. And maybe... I still think that Elspeth Conquers Death is crucial, especially in a Yorion deck. I still think that Shark Typhoon is our win con, so we don't want to trim that very much. But if we're looking for one more trim, maybe we can go down to 1 Essence Scatter. I think Tail's End is going to be better. It counters all the companions. It counters the triggered ability from the Agent of Treachery. And if you really want to hit somebody right where it hurts, let them cast their Yorion. Let them exile all their toys, like Elspeth Conquers Death and Omen of the Sea, and whatever else they have, Oath of Kaya. Wait until end step, when the trigger goes on the stack, to bring these cards back from exile. Use Tail's End on that trigger, and my friends, they will get absolutely nothing back. They Plague Winded themselves. So that's going to be my next experiment with Esper. If you have a build that is crushing it for you, or you want to share what you think I could do better, or how you would do the deck, especially if you have some results to share, like did this much, won the last 8 matches, got to Mythic, etc., stuff like that, that would really help me out. So go ahead and leave a comment. Thank you to everybody. Today was a pretty tough day. If you're watching this, so you'll be watching this tomorrow. Today is Tuesday. I'm recording this in the evening. And if you watched my Tuesday stream, you know that I came on the show and I was pretty distraught because some audio issues made me lose a ton of footage that was going to be this video. And a lot of it was salvaged. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, thank goodness. I did have to re-record some bits, like this particular outro. But I've got to say, I was feeling like canceling the stream, and I was feeling very down on myself. The Twitch audience, you guys who were there for the show, you guys picked me up so much. Like, your support and just your enthusiasm. It was like, no, we're not gonna have a bad day. We're gonna have a great day. We're gonna have fun because we get to play Magic and hang out. That enthusiasm carried me. So this is a big shout out to all the folks on Twitch who saw my stream yesterday, Tuesday, because you guys absolutely carried it. It was a ton of fun. I feel so much better. And as always, the streak must go on. I am not backing down. So yeah, I had to finish that stream. I had to let my wife get in here and do her thing. She did an online interview. I did a coaching session. Shout out to Airball, who was preparing for a tournament. And then I came in here and recorded what I needed to record. And you still have a video, because a video every day is the CGB way. So thanks to everybody for supporting the channel. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.